The best thing is we actually have media badges. That's how you know that we're allowed to do this, because we're the media badge.
It's the
First
permission.
time. Have you ever been anywhere with the media badge before?
Yes, but in my past life, not in the coin world.
Okay,
so it's,
all right.
it's nice to...
This is called thinking not really outside the box, because media is not exactly a new concept.
No, but for the coin world, the online media is definitely...
It's
newer.
kind of catching on. It's catching on. Hey, I'm with Larry from Stax Bowers, and we are at the Tucson Invitational Coin and Currency Expo. Larry, nice to see you again. Thanks for being here.
Nice to be here. I wasn't able to make it last year, and I missed out on all the fun, and it's just a phenomenal show that you set up here, Ben.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Larry really helped support the show, and then he was like, I can't make it, sorry. But that was last year, and he's felt terrible, so I shouldn't really even say it out loud. But I was happy to meet the rest of your crew last year, and this year we got a different crew in. It's all good.
You know, I really appreciate when you called me a year ago and you said, hey, I want to set up this show for Tucson. I was in immediately, because not only are you really good for the industry, but this is an area, Tucson, that was underserved. There wasn't a big coin show like this here. And, you know, the populace had to go to Phoenix, or they had to drive to one of these other places to find that. And so we really needed it. So it was a no-brainer to me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, we got, over 1 million people in the Tucson metro area. It's like the 32nd largest, metropolitan area, and it's a sneaky good coin community too. We've got Good Coin Club. They've got their show the day after this show, so on Sunday there's a show, the local club show, and they've had to turn dealers away for their little show that they do also. So it's really
Clearly
great.
a need.
It's really great, really great. So today we could talk about anything.
All right, well, that's a dangerous wide open blank check you've written me
So
there.
should we talk about, what do you think? Is it professional violin players? Or should
Well,
we go
there's always a good talk on Stradivarius. But,
there you go.
I
knew if I mentioned something, he would know, like whatever we're talking about.
Well, I go wide, not deep.
I'm not playing Jackbox with you. That's all I gotta
there we
say.
go. That's a fun game.
So I want to talk just in general technology in the coin universe, right? So for those of you who don't know, I have less than, let's see, how would this go? I have less than 1 U.S. patent, okay? And so Larry actually happens to have more U.S. patents than me. And one of them, if anyone goes on Stax Bowers, they've seen it before, right?
Yes.
Which is the Coins in Motion, which
Correct.
is the videos thing. So, and I think that was really great for the coin community to have a good visual look at a coin that you're going to try to bid on. And so now technology is all over the coin world, and you've got AI coming in, and a lot of our viewers know technology more than me because I know nothing. But there's plenty of guys that are going to be 10, 20, 30 years older than me, and technology in them, they don't speak the same language at all.
No.
So like, what kind of stuff coming down the pipe can we see, what do you see coming down the pipe that's going to be maybe helpful for someone in their 70s, 80s, and like, are they going to be able to use technology in a way that's going to help them in the coin market? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, you brought up a lot of different topics there with AI and everything else.
Whatever you want to say.
I think in general, it's adapt or die in almost any industry of like, you have these new tools that are out there now, and if you don't use them, your competitors are, the people that are collecting against you, even if those are collector competitors, they're going to be using this too, which you're going to give them the first shot at that coin or the first shot to be able to get to do that research. So I think there's a lot of things, even like ChatGPT, which you hear a lot about right now, that can be used very, very well in the coin industry for doing things like web searches. For like, hey, I'm looking for this particular thing, give me some history on it, and also go find a couple of these for sale right now on the web, and GPT-4 can do that. It's really, really handy.
So basically, ChatGPT, what he's talking about is, I mean, imagine you're in the Jetsons, right? This is how I got to boil it down to things I understand.
Sure.
And you have a computer on the wall that you can talk to and ask for something, and it produces it for you. So it's like having just a world of information at your fingertips, and you can literally give it a command. It'll understand the command and come back to you with some type of an answer.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answer is accurate and correct, right?
Yes, and it's always good to double and triple check that. But as this tech gets better and better, the hallucinations and things like that will get fewer and fewer.
Hallucinations. So when you say hallucinations, you just mean when it's bringing bad information?
Yeah, when it makes up something. Because essentially, the funny thing is, these AI, all this AI that you're hearing about, really these LLMs, as they're called, large language models, really they're just spell check with more steps.
Okay.
is really all they are. And so they're trying to figure out what's the next word in this sentence on average. And so that's kind of how they're all basis of them. But so you don't really need to understand all the nuts and bolts of how it all works, but how it can help you as a dealer and as a collector. What I find is a lot of the things I used to spend a lot of time on, which is like composing, a document or composing an email. I used to write in bullet points, which I loved doing as an engineer. Is I created my bullet points out, and then I'd always have to go write the thing. Now, if you got that bullet point list that you need to send to a client or something like that, you can dump that into GPT and get a really good start that gives you a leg up on going faster. Or, say you need to, on your eBay store, you need a good description for the coin. And you've got the bullet points of it's rainbow toned, it has good luster, minimal marks, but you're not one necessarily with words. You could post that in there and get a good little description that's going to just save you time and money. So that's all is what it's really about, is to save you time.
So I think I like the idea of it saving time in general, but also hopefully eventually we get to a point where you can use the technology to really identify something you don't know. And so one of the things that I see all the time on, like if I'm on Instagram or YouTube, there's ads that pop up for these like coin identification things. And I have seen them in action, and honestly, I think they stink.
They do.
So tell me, how is the consumer going to be able to find something that's worth using? Because it's kind of like being promised one thing and given another.
100%.
I know what you're saying is true about AI. I also know that the things that are presented to me as a consumer are garbage in the area of coins. And it's like, how do we get these things to match?
So it all comes down to training. And right now, as you can imagine, they haven't trained a lot of things on coin-specific information. And you're exactly correct. And you're going to see a lot of these fly-by-night. They're not quite snake oil salesmen, but basically we're computers were in the 80s and early 90s, where the iteration of the technology is so fast. All these companies are coming in with solutions that are going to solve all of your problems. And so I would say people need to be aware of that and not necessarily and ask questions and buy in and realize that it's not quite perfect yet.
Right. So that's, I think, a good analogy and helps me understand better when I think about, I think of computers and I can compare it to early computers, but when I think of AI as like this really smart computer thing, but really AI and the current technology we're using is in its infancy.
Absolutely.
So really the reason why it's so cumbersome and hard to use and hard to understand for the average person, and maybe gives us some bad information once in a while, is just because it's in its infancy.
Yes. Yeah. And it's going to get better and better. I think the thing, unlike a lot of the tech fads that we've seen in the past, AI is something like the internet that is just here and it's going to evolve any and everything it touches.
It's like new code.
Yes, honestly. Except it'll stay around. New Coke went the way of the dinosaur. But beyond AI, things like you're doing video. Video was a thing that was grossly underrepresented in the coin market, where there was just pictures. And as we all know, a picture can hide every single thing about a coin, because there's that one beautiful view that shows the toning, none of the marks. Oh yeah. And so that's why, that's where I came up with the idea of coins in motion back in the day, was I wanted to show my own coins in a way that I could see the luster, I could see the movement. The flip side of that is you can't hide any marks, and you can't necessarily make an ugly coin pretty. But for people like me that were buying coins out of auctions and buying coins online, I was tired of buying something and not getting in hand the thing that I expected. So you've obviously been the consumer. So the way you do things is the technology was designed to help. As the consumer, you're like, okay, and then so for me the hard part with most of the technology stuff is, as the consumer, I don't know that all the people making things are really have the consumer in mind. And when you created Coins in Motion, it was, hey, I want this. Yeah, exactly.
I need this, I want this. So I'm going to bug you one more AI thing here, and that is, this is complete speculation in general. Do you think that AI really has a place in grading? This is going to be it's a completely different type of question, because first we're talking about just having a computer give you information. So I want to say, hey, I want to know about coins from the 1640s from Austria, and it'll search the interwebs and bring back a whole bunch of information and data. So now we're moving to the nitty-gritty. For collectors, there's a whole lot of talk always about coin grading. How do you understand what a coin is, and why can't we just have technology save the day? And so I have, I think I try to walk an accurate and narrow path on this subject, but I also don't know technology like some people do. So what are your thoughts on the
So
use
I
of...
have probably what's going to be a mild hot take for some of the older coin guys in the market. I am confident that what is going to happen is that you're going to have a dual grade system in the future, where you have the human Sheldon grades that we're all used to and we know about. But I believe computerized grading, while it's been tried in the past with AccuGrade and stuff, and tech wasn't quite there yet.
That was new code, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to a point where it's very necessary to have both. And the reason, let me tell you why. The human grade, the Sheldon grade, gives you the eye appeal. It gives you what the dealers and collectors are saying. That's what that, it's an ineffable quality that machines can't necessarily say, like, that has the right toning. Yeah, you could train a machine learning model to detect the right toning, but it really just adds that human element that you're not going to get with the computer. But the flip side, the computer is going to be completely unbiased. Yeah. It's going to tell me the number of marks. It's going to tell me the luster, like how much light is reflecting off of it. There's going to be quantifiable data that with both the human grade and the computerized grade together will give you the full picture of the coin.
Some of the best analogies I get is from people that I know that are in different parts of the engineering world and have explained to me, well, like if you're working on understanding the status and strength of the concrete in your bridges that are 100 years old, you know, your technology is able to aid you along. It's not replacing you.
Correct.
It's aiding you in what you're doing. So for me, for my limited knowledge of technology and of coins, I feel like there should already be in place something 100% in place for grading modern coins. So a bullion coin, there should basically be a kiosk at a coin show that you bring and put your silver eagles in, it scans it. On those I'd put like a 100-point scale or something. I mean, I don't believe in the Sheldon scale for modern bullion.
It doesn't make any sense. It was the price of a 1794 cent.
So, so you go, like, to me, you should just be able to put it in, put in whatever, 20 bucks in the kiosk, and it spits out the coin in the holder for you.
Yeah.
Like, because there's nothing to look at objectively. It's not like a coin that has had circulation, has had all types of environmental exposure over decades or centuries.
Right.
Has, nothing, it's coming out of a tube, there's nothing nefarious that's happened to it.
The production quality is new, so it's not, there's no weird
I can understand all that stuff. It's when people start bringing together the concept of grading in a computer and, trying to understand certain things that I think only the eye can do.
Yeah.
But, I'm kind of on the human side of things.
This is why, like, I'm not an all-in on just the computers.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a bad choice,
both
too.
and.
I think it's both. And I think together you get a really good picture of the coin, and I'd be able to understand, like, the quantifiable numbers and the human element, and together that makes the full picture. Yeah. And we'll see. I think it's all going to come down to market acceptability, right? Like if I have that ASE machine that's giving me the grades, are people respecting that Proof 70 grade that's coming out of there, or do they not care? So I guess that's part of it too. Is there's a human market element that is on top.
Correct. There's lots of great products that never go anywhere.
Absolutely.
And then there's schmucks on YouTube that people watch the videos. God love you. So anyways, Larry, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to Tucson.
Yeah, if you guys are here, come on down to Tucson. It's a great show, a lot of dealers here waiting for you.
We're going to have a good time. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.